How's it going again, everyone? Hoping everybody's been having a good day. I'm going to be making this response video. This is basically a response video to a response or a reaction video. So this is a response video to a reaction video about my original video, Vector King's scam or Vector King's University scam. I watched Tyrone Foster's reaction video on it, and to be honest with you, when I watched it, I watched it with a very open mind. It took me a few days to watch it, hence why I think it's been over a week, maybe 2 weeks since I made the original video, and it took me a while to get through his response because it was over half an hour long. And this video will probably be just the same because his reaction video raised more questions, and none of the questions that I asked in my original video were even answered in this video. And just to be honest with you, the comments on my original video, which I will go through, are pretty eye-opening. Let's just go through some of the things that he talks about. Let's just walk us through here the his reaction video. I won't go through the whole video. We're just gonna go step by step here. At this point, he's basically talking about how the company that he used to work for, Modir, I guess is how you pronounce it, was an MLM or is still an MLM. In my original video, I talk about Modir, him working for it, because I believe in the concept that MLM companies, these people who are coming in from MLM companies, going into the forex market, are not to be trusted. And why I say that is because, I mean, I really do implore anybody. I've said this already in a previous video, but I will say it in this one again. If you truly are wondering about MLMs, MLMers, people who market MLM companies, look up John Oliver, that's Jon, John Oliver MLM, and just watch that video. It's about 31 minutes long. I know it's a long video, but he goes through in depth about MLM companies. I mean, he's a comedian, he's a talk show host for his show, but he goes through all about MLM companies and how these pyramid schemes and how they are just crap. And he says, now he talks about Herbalife mostly in the video because they're probably one of the biggest MLM companies that are out there. But he basically says that you shouldn't trust any MLM company. No MLM company should you trust. And I 100% agree with that. I will agree with that. People will say, well, capitalism is an MLM company, and, working for any business is an MLM company. It's funny because even John Oliver he talks about in that video how that's not true. MLM people use that as their defense. They say, well, all of capitalism is an MLM. If you work for any business, people are above you. It's not true. It's not an MLM. That's what's called a corporate ladder, and people don't make money off you for buying a particular thing. Just like MCA. I see a lot of MCA people, and I'm not bashing MCA, but it is an MLM, multi-level marketing pyramid scheme. Okay, it is. In order for somebody to make money, you have to be the one to sell to other people to make money for them. That is a pyramid scheme, all right? And John Oliver goes through that, and basically, what I said in my original video was that it was interesting how when I put in Modir, scam was the first result, and then MLM was the second result. So I just found that to be a coincidence. I thought that was hilarious. Going forward with that, a third of his video is just me talking about that. Then he goes into talking about how, he doesn't even talk about it, but he goes through the part where I'm talking about how this strategy, this template is stolen. He never once credits Steve Morrow when in fact, when you go into my video, one of his precious affiliates, Pasha, which is funny because Pasha is right here on his whiteboard. If you go into the beginning of this video, you will see that Pasha and Ryan here, these are people that are a part of his little team. Pasha, Ryan, we're going to talk about these two because there's a reason why we're going to be talking about them. But I mean, Pasha here on this video says, Tyrone personally, blah, blah, blah. He gives Steve credit first and foremost. Interesting because he never gave Steve credit here. What he does in this video is he goes into YouTube and he says, well, let's see who else is teaching Fibonacci sequence trading. Who else is teaching trend line trading? He looks up trend line trading here somewhere in this video. Here, best trend line strategy. This is what he's saying he's teaching, which is interesting because when you go into one of his big students, Pasha here, she says, But there is a lot in this course that is not in Steve's. Okay, if you know anything of the English language, you'll know that this right here is interesting because it says there is a lot in this course that is not Steve's, which basically is saying that there is stuff that's Steve's. And so just because, and going through these comments, now we're going to go into Ryan here, because Ryan then says, after doing some name calling, because we're in elementary school, I believe, he says here, you have absolutely zero evidence to back anything that you just said. Interesting, because so does this video. Zero evidence, once again. But here I am providing all the evidence. They're just upset that I did provide it. The market maker method is public for anyone to grab. Okay, let's talk about that, because let's go to a third-party individual, someone who went to Vector Kings University, someone who was a student of Tyrone. He says, Vector King University is a scam. I have no doubt in my mind. A month ago, I asked to see his portfolio, and he told me to join his webinar. Sure enough, I did, and as expected, he didn't show his portfolio even when I requested it in the webinar. He advertises on Facebook to redirect gullible people, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, this clown stole Steve Morrow's market maker method and sells it to his members. His whole webinar is cherry-picked, blah, blah, blah. So this clown stole Steve Morrow's method and sells it to his members. Yet, these guys are saying that's completely okay. You know, you have Ryan here saying it's free for anyone to grab. Okay, let's bring up a scenario here. Let's say you were walking in the city. Let's think of any musical artist that you love, that you listen to on a regular day basis. I love classical music, although unfortunately all the classical people I listen to have been deceased for a few hundred years. But let's take I don't know, let's take a big hip hop artist, or I don't know, let's take Beyonce. Everybody knows who Beyonce is. Let's say you find a burnt CD of Beyonce's new album on the ground, okay? It's not the original, it's a burnt copy. It's free, right? It's free for you to grab. It may not be the original, or you can take either one. You can take the original copy, or you can take a burnt copy. It doesn't matter, because it all ends up to be you going to jail, or you having to pay a huge fine. And let's say you take that copy and you go and you copy 500 copies, and which is totally legal. You can do that. But then you turn around and you sell it to those people. You sell it for $10. Now, is that legal or illegal? Of course it's illegal. Think about the company Napster, okay? Napster went under for obvious reasons. They were providing free downloadable music, which was ruining the music industry and was illegal. So again, I want you to understand that this type of stuff is illegal. Someone like this, Tyrone Foster, does not understand that taking a strategy like Steve Morrow's strategy, market maker method, I've never used this, but companies have used this before. In fact, if you look up Ward 3 Associates, which we have talked about before, they used this exact same template. They just changed the color scheme a little bit. They changed the indicator names, but it was the exact same template, and they sold it as their own. And Steve Morrow came after them and made them stop selling it. So, which will happen here, because this is his method. This is his coded work. And in the MQL law, it is illegal for you to do this. It's so hilarious because these guys do not say that that's a big deal. People like this say, oh, it was free for anybody to grab, so he can just sell it for free. Okay, Ryan. So if you do something that's hard work, that is a product. So I guess you can give me you can put it on the internet for free, and I can just make money off of it, right? That's totally fine. Absolutely not. That's not okay. That's not fine. And so that is illegal stuff. That's stealing, because you're making money off of somebody else's work. And so this is intellectual property theft under the MQL law. I know that a lot of people don't understand this because they haven't been in the industry long enough, and people like Tyrone Foster have definitely not been in the industry long enough. I mean, this face right here is just a person who is trying to be defensive. I'm not trying to be bashing him or trying to be, immature in that way. But seriously, he defends himself by saying, well, I'm teaching this. If you're teaching that, then why do you have the market maker method as your template? Seriously. It's because from what the third party says, you are selling the market maker method. So, moving right along. So at the end of this, I'm just going to go to make his reaction video just a 3-parter. He talks about how I basically say How, yes, he does live in a $200,000 house in Jacksonville, Florida. It's pretty easy to see. I mean, you can go through his videos here and find where that is. Where that is. I'm going to go through some of these videos here. There is another video. This is it right here. This is definitely his neighborhood. From what I've seen, when I saw his house, this is definitely the neighborhood. Here's what's very, very wrong here. He claims, well, not claims, he admits that yes, this is where he lives. And he says, well, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that, but why do you have a video like this? Look at this thumbnail, okay? You go into this video, and he's saying things like, warning, if you're, this video is not for you if you don't have enough money to invest, or if you don't have money, if you're extremely negative. And it's like very like inspirational and all sorts of stuff. I want you to see this home, all right? Nowhere in the description does it say that this was a rental home, that this is a home that he rented, that this is maybe a family estate, that maybe this is his friend's house, or that maybe this is... Because I don't think this is owned by anybody that he knows. I think it's probably just rented property that he, was... Because you can rent property like this. I mean, what's the guy's name that... Ty Lopez, he does it. Most of all houses that he shows his videos that he says, oh, this is my home, it's a rented house. It's about $2,000, $3,000 a week or something like that to rent it. And that's just what he does. He just rents it for his videos so he can do it. You can find evidence in all of Ty Lopez's videos where they actually have, every once in a while, it's like, I don't think they meant to show it, but off in the corner you will see a piece of paper that says that filming is being done in this house, because what they're basically doing is other people that are also renting the house while he's renting it need to know that filming is being done, because Ty probably is paying the people who own the property to be able to do that. And so but he doesn't live there. It's just rented. So which is probably what this is. It's just a rented house. This is not where he lives. This is not where Tyrone Foster lives. But it's funny because all these people say, well, Tyrone Foster isn't a flashy person. He's not flashy. Okay, showing this house and showing him, I think there's a part in here where he's like, yeah, right here. He's playing the piano. Like this is his home. He is acting like this is his home, and it's not. It is not his home, okay? And so that's very, very important, because this is what I like to call a lifestyle video. This is a video, and this is their welcome video, I might add. This is a video basically showing you the lifestyle, this pretty house, and him in the city, I believe in New York City. And now he's sitting with one of the guys, Ryan, that I've already mentioned already. Where are they? Here they are right here. This is, I believe, from what I can gather, this is Ryan right here. Great. And they basically talk about how great Vector Kings University is. Okay? Let's just go down into the past, because to understand the future, one must understand the past. So going into this, you can see that Tyrone Foster talks. He says, I used to work for... Yeah, he says, I used to work for Grant Cardone. You probably know who that is. Okay, this clip right here is not from him working with him. This is from an episode of Whatever It Takes, where Tyrone Foster was on here pitching Grant Cardone water, as you can see right here. It's a pretty interesting little clip, because at the end of it, he ends up like, dancing for him and all this sort of stuff. And I want you to understand something here, that this is a person that's trying to work for Grant Cardone. Now, this was not even a year ago, April 29th, 2016. You can go through the comment section here and you can see where people are saying that Tyrone is pretty sketchy. He's a sketchy individual. You can find that in the comment section in here where people watched, I guess, the whole video. And it's just interesting, because I want you to understand that this is a person that is trying to, that is used to the salesman's pitch. He's just so used to the salesman's pitch. And it's all about trying to sell you something. I mean, just like this video, it's all about trying to sell you something. He talks about how he was trying to pay his bills and he couldn't, and the forex industry was able to do that. Yada 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 yada. He talks about how he says, as we all know, forex is 90% mindset. let's just say that it is a 90% mindset. I would agree with that. Now, I would agree that's probably 70 to 90, but let's just say it's at 90% mindset. All he does is trains you, okay? That's all he does. If you go into his videos, you will find, so you don't even have to pay for anything. You will go and see his webinars that he has done here, in which is really hilarious because not a single one of these mastermind, everybody seems to be having mastermind videos these days. These mastermind videos, not a single person places a trade. Everybody, even Tyrone, will say, "Oh, I can't wait to take that trade. I'm gonna take it," even though the opportunity seems to be presenting itself now. Okay, understand that the forex market is the most volatile market out there. So if you see a setup, you might want to try to find a place to take it pretty close to now, instead of being like, "Oh, I'm gonna take that later. I'm gonna take that later." Okay, the opportunity will be gone. And this is a guy who has zero portfolio. Again, with the Ryan guy, zero evidence. Zero evidence on his end as well. Zero portfolio. People will say, well, he has nothing to prove. He has nothing to prove to people. Okay, if he's charging to teach you something that you can find for free online, then he needs to prove himself that he is worthy to teach you. And I use worthy as a person that has the knowledge to teach you. It's interesting because in his response video, he says, "I didn't know I have to have all the things that you want in this industry in order to teach you how to get it." What? I don't understand that way of thinking. Do you seriously think a person who has never watched basketball, or a person who's never played basketball in their entire life, never watched it, never played it, could teach you how to play it? Really? Do you really think that? Do you think that a person who's watched maybe 20 games of basketball would be able to teach you how to? I think I've maybe seen 20 basketball games my entire life. There is no way in chance that I could ever be a basketball coach or teach you how to play basketball. I mean, seriously, you have to be able to obtain what other people want, or what you are basically trying to show people in that huge mansion that you seem to make people think that you own, and being in the city, and eating these dinners eating these dinners with your two affiliate buddies at some sort of club, like some sort of house club, probably outside of that house. It's just ridiculous. I mean, if you are promoting a lifestyle, you better be able to show people how to obtain it. And it's just ridiculous that you say that you don't have to be able to, I don't have to obtain it to be able to teach you how to do it. I just want you guys to really think about that, because that's insane. But anyways, when you look at this is interesting because you look at FX Glory, okay? This is the server this is the broker that they're on. Now they're showing a real server. Cool. I could show you a real server all day with no money in it. Just because it says a real server doesn't mean that they're actually trading on it. But this is coming from a person that's going to teach you how the professionals do it. This is going to teach you how to make money, blah, 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 blah. Hilarious enough is that FX Glory is a high leverage broker that is unregulated, I might add, that is going to basically train your mind that you can, put in, because I want you to understand something, that within this market, you have brokers that have high leverage, right? Let's take, if you don't understand leverage, understand that if you have, let's say, a 1-to-1 leverage, if you put $1,000 in, that's all the money that you have to be able to trade with. If you have a 1-to-100 leverage, if you put $1,000 in, then you have $100,000, because you do the 100 leverage times the balance that you have. So if you do 1,000 leverage, you take your 1,000 times 1,000. That is how much money then you now have. If you have a 1 to 50, I believe a one lot trade costs about $2,000 to place. If you have a 1 to 50 leverage, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that on a Euro USD, simple, like the spread is good, the price is fine, all that sort of stuff. At a basic level, it's probably around $2,000, somewhere around that level, to purchase one single lot, 100,000 units of currency of the Euro USD on a 1 to 50 leverage. So if you take that and you just divide those numbers to be able to get to 1 to 1,000, you will find that the price drops enormously, which is high risk, because professionals will tell you to never trade with leverage more than 1 to 200. 1 to 200. And these guys are telling you to trade with brokers at 1 to 1,000. If any of these companies, it's just, oh man, it's just ridiculous. But anyways, This is, I mean, it's fine to trade this, but if people are teaching you and they're teaching you to go with these brokers, that's crazy. I mean, it's just I mean, if they're offering these brokers to you, I don't see anything wrong with that, whatever. But if they're teaching you how to trade and how to make basically a lifestyle for yourself, you will end up having to go somewhere else because these brokers will end up becoming regulated, or they're not going to send you your money, or you're going to get major slippage, or they're going to freeze you on news, which I'm pretty sure FX Glory has been known to do. They freeze up on news and make it to where it's impossible to place trades, close trades out, your stop loss will get gapped out, all sorts of crazy stuff. But these guys don't tell you that because they don't know, because these guys haven't been in the industry long enough. So it's so funny because you have that these guys never even place a trade, and all of these mastermind videos. I say that if it's a mastermind video, you at least place one trade. But let's go into this video. If you're not talking about promoting yourself or being flashy, as some people say, this is a video that he had where it says how to build from $100 to thousands. Again, going with the leverage. Now, I think Oanda will allow you to trade with a $100 account. I may be wrong, but I believe their minimum deposit is $100. I might be wrong, but their minimum lot size is not 1 micro lot. I believe they even have the ability to trade nano lots, if not smaller than that. Again, I may be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that I do know that they'll let you trade nano lots, but it's enable for you to build up an account that's $100. In order for you to trade to make $100 into thousands, you have to have extremely, extremely, extremely high leverage. These are the same companies like IML, Forever and Profit that we've talked about. This is just another guy that's taking something from somebody else, the idea from somebody else, and acting as its own. I mean, seriously. And what's so funny is that you get into this episode, whatever, April 29th, 2016 is when this GC.com pushed this. This is from GrantCardoneTV.com, right? So this is his own website, and this was posted on the 29th, so not even a year ago. Yet, Tyrone Foster claims that he's been teaching people how to trade for 2 years. If he was doing that, then why in the world was he trying to pitch water to Grant Cardone? Right here, you can see the time clock. I think he had 30 seconds to. It's the wrong individual here, but you can see where he pitches him water, and it's just I will not be hateful towards him doing this, whatever. But again, do not claim that you've been in this industry for as long as you have when you really have not. You will not provide a portfolio for some strange reason. You just tell people to join our webinar, and then people ask for their portfolio in the webinar and you still won't provide it. You're promoting on Facebook when it's so hilarious because in this video you say, well, I was trying to make this a very closed off group, and I was trying to make it a very closed off section of the forex industry, yada 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 yada. Okay, well then you go into his videos once again, and you will find that he promotes being an affiliate. If you don't believe me, just go down to his videos and you will see it. VKU affiliate tutorial, how to create your custom links in your affiliate back office. Affiliate update. I mean, if you don't want people getting into this industry, or if you don't want people getting into your company because you don't want it to get too big because you're trying to stay humble, why in the world would you have affiliates? Why? And it's so funny because if you go into my original video, somewhere in these comments, one of his affiliates, I said, so how's that affiliate money? And he goes, oh, the affiliate money's great. So these are all affiliates. All these people that are just saying hashtag VKU, hashtag VKU, hashtag VKU, they're just affiliates. They're just people that are just being affiliates. And they're not providing any sort of proof. They start doing the name calling, and then you go down into Tyrone Foster basically saying stuff like this, where he says, if y'all harass for the rest of y'all pathetic lives, I mean, stuff like this. And then you have another video when the banks calls you because you're depositing too much money. I mean, I'm a huge grammar person, but I mean, this is majorly grammatically incorrect. But I mean, and I'm sure that when Tyrone sees this video, he's going, oh, he's going after my grammar. Like, that's just a way for people to be defensive to make you look like the jackass, when in reality, it's not that way. I'm just saying this is, again, a flashy video when the banks calls you because you are depositing too much money. This video is a person claiming that he made so much money in VKU that he interviews him right here, and he says, I made so much money that I couldn't even, my bank was like, oh, we're not used to you depositing this much money, so we just wanted to make sure that it was your funds and all this sort of stuff, yada 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 yada. Yet he doesn't show a bank statement to prove that. I mean, it's a great story, but right now, without the proof, it's just a story. And so, again, with this, all this talk is just a story. 100 to 1,000. This is unrealistic numbers, okay? I implore you again to go into my FX book, find people who have a real account with a portfolio of about 3 to 4 years, and you will not see them flipping accounts from 100 to 1,000 in a couple weeks or a couple months. It takes them years to do that. Why? Because they have low drawdown, and they keep with the regulated brokers, so they have that low minimum leverage, like in the United States, where this guy is being held, is 1 to 50. 1 to 50. In Europe, I believe it's 1 to 200. In Japan, I believe it's 1 to 25. It's a lot worse than what we have if you're wanting to make good money in this industry, or if you're wanting to not put as much money in. And so this type of mindset is ridiculous. But going into the whole mindset thing, he claims that 90% of forex is mindset. And even if I would agree with that, all he does is teach you. That's all he does is teach you. Understand that if it's mindset, whatever it is that he's teaching you, 10% of you, if the mindset is 90, 10% of you will only make money. The rest of you will not. Why that is because it's your own mindset. The rest of you will fail. And it's not because of the strategy or it's because of the person teaching you. It's because of you. And these types of claims saying, oh, I can get you out of that, is bogus. You have to be the one to get out of that, okay? You have to be the one to get out of that. This is a guy who is taking stolen material from Steve Morrow. And yeah, sure, he might be teaching you Fibonacci, which is free online, as he shows in this video. Sure, he might teach you trendline trading, which is free online, like he shows in this video. And according to his members, you can get what he's basically selling you for free online as well. So they basically admitted that he took something for free online and is selling it to people. That's not right, and it's illegal. So it's intellectual property theft, and it's hilarious that these guys are backing that up. It just shows you that these guys are promoting being a thief. And so understand, and I want to end this video with this, is understand that in this industry, when it comes with mindset, you will realize once you're at the 5-6 year mark, where I'm at, if you take that entire time and never listen to anybody, you don't follow people, you basically, what I mean by follow is you don't let people teach you. You don't let people sit you down and just say, hey, you know, I'm going to teach you how to do this, I'm going to teach you how to do that. And it's because I used to teach mindset stuff. And what I realized is that people have to be on their own. They have to learn on their own. But in my mindset courses that I did one-on-one sessions with people years back, I said to them, you will make mistakes and you will think that what I'm telling you is wrong. But understand it's the mistakes you have to make. These people don't tell you that stuff. They're telling you that whatever they have is basically mistake-free, in a sense, by showing no losses, by having all these mastermind videos basically saying that all they're doing is making all this money. And, you know, by the way, the guy who said he had too much money, that his bank was like, what in the world, is right here as an affiliate. It's just, they're just stories, all right? And it's I know that it may come hard to people because they're like, oh man, I want to believe that people like this are legitimate. This guy, his website, Vector Kings University alone, he says he's been training people for 2 years doing this, yet his website isn't even a year old. So, caught you on that. And you can say, well, I didn't have a website then. Oh, okay. Well, then how did you promote? Well, I had a Facebook. Oh, yeah. With no website, doesn't make any sense because you're promoting on Facebook heavily now, which is coming from a person who doesn't want a big group. all this stuff just doesn't make any sense to me. It's all this stuff that's so contradicting. Well, you say one thing, but you do something else, and you do something, but you're saying something else, and it's just ridiculous. So my response to this entire reaction was just, this was a waste of my time. Taking the 3 to 4 days it took me to watch this half-hour long video, and I know that I'm running about half an hour on mine, but it just needed to be said because this is insane. This is insane because this type of stuff is just, I mean, he calling me ignorant throughout this video without providing, again, any evidence as to why I'm wrong, because that's what a debate is. You've turned this now into an argument. Instead of turning it into a debate where I say one claim and then you try to prove me wrong with a different claim. But you're not doing that. You're basically saying, well, he's ignorant. What he's saying is ignorant. That's ignorance. And then you have all these people calling me names like Nancy and clown and all this. It's just like, come on. Really? Really? Is this where we're at now? I thought I left second grade years ago. So I just want you guys to realize that this, again, I do not back this company up. I probably never will until they give me a portfolio that shows that you, Tyrone Foster, have been in this industry for long enough, and you can basically show me the claims with all this stuff. Tell me why you are showing houses like this, yet you do claim that you do live in the $200,000 house, whatever. You know, I'm not bashing you for doing that, whatever. I don't care what house you live in, but this is what you're promoting to people. This is the lifestyle you're basically trying to show people when this is not the lifestyle you have. So again, I hope that you guys have a great rest of your week, have a great rest of your month, have a great rest of your year, and as always, stay safe.